And here we are with the Challenger. eh. Oh, yeah. I had intended to do this Monday, I guess. Um, yeah, I hope everyone's been having a nice week, better than mine anyway. My week started with, learning that my sister was visiting unexpectedly, and I wish that I could say that the reason why I didn't do any videos was because got to visit with her and, just had a fun time and everything was great. Unfortunately, that's not the truth. Unfortunately, you know, I don't know, probably 8 hours or so before I learned that she was on her way, I apparently contracted food poisoning. And so, right about the time that she showed up, I was getting really sick. And so, yeah, I spent, the better part of 2 days uh, in bed or in the bathroom, throwing up a lot. Yeah, not fun. Not a fun time at all. And then the next day, it's like I had to work, and fortunately I was up to that. Although I wasn't up to the heavy lifting part, but fortunately found somebody to do that part of the job. And then the next day I was like, okay, everything should be fine now. I should be able to do a video. And then it's like, I lost my voice. It's like, would have thought that maybe it was coughing instead of the vomit. I don't know, but it's like, would have thought that would have happened sooner. But nope, waited until that was kind of like the last thing that happened was that I lost my voice. And it's like, okay, well, not doing a video now. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that my doing a video about it could possibly have helped this campaign, because I did check on it. I think, like, I don't know, not 10 days ago, sometime maybe, something like that. And it had exactly as many backers as it has now. So I don't know if the word's not getting out or nobody's interested or what's going on here, but I mean, there's just no movement. There has been, it's been at least, well, actually, it's been at least 11 days, at least, maybe longer than that. I'm not sure when I first looked at it, but it's been, I mean, there were other things to do, so it's like I just. But yeah. Anyway, the Challenger in the era of great heavyweights join our Challenger in his journey to champion. Campaign has only 9 days left in its funding period. It currently has 2 backers, having raised a total of $65. I think it's pretty clear this is unfortunately not going to fund. So, but it's always possible, you want to chip in, or get other people to chip in or whatever if you're interested. $1,000 flexible goal. And I have no idea whether that. I mean, I assume that they know that that's enough. Maybe if I read comics, this background pattern or whatever would remind me of old black and white comics on newsprint or whatever. But since I wasn't really into comics, it's reminding me of like really old monochrome graphics on like DOS or something. Charles the Goliath Carter versus Marlowe the Mustang Evans. Bat Otter. Okay, interesting. I think I'd rather have a comic about Bat Otter. That's Leave my cord alone, cat. I don't know how. Stop that. I don't know how often I'll use it, but I did actually, believe, order some wireless things. I don't know whether it says it has a mic built into it. I don't know how effective it'll be though, because they're just little. They're mostly, I guess, for listening to music or whatever when you're working out, sweating, and whatnot. They're supposedly waterproof. Anyway, The Challenge. Manga has their martial arts series. Now it's time for a true blue American take on manga martial arts with a groundbreaking 22-page comic book with the most American martial art you've ever heard of, boxing. I guess it's a martial art. I'd never really thought about it. Of course, it's also called The Sweet Science, and I definitely would not have ever guessed that if I, if I hadn't learned that, a long time ago. I wouldn't know. Oh, and it says that right on the next line, doesn't it? If you like manga, action, great art, or even the Rocky movies, you'll love this sweet one-shot dedicated to The Sweet Science. Yep. And my dad didn't know that either. I mean, not that he always watched football. He's never really into... Cat? Stop. Stop biting me. Anyway, it's like, he like watched football and shit, so he's never really into boxing. But I think that's where I first heard that. It's probably, we were probably out at his parents' place and watching some game show or other, back in the 90s maybe or something. And like one of the questions came up, what sport is called The Sweet Science? And he had no idea it was boxing. I think his guess was that it was billiards or something, but so he assumed that it was a reference to actual science because it's like, it's based on angles and shit. And it's like, well, yeah. Nope. The sweet science of knocking some guy's brain around enough that he, falls over. Set in 70s, I think you mean the 70s, the era of great heavyweights, we find our new pro boxer with a fresh record taking on none other than the #1 contender to the heavyweight title. Okay, so he's not the heavyweight champion, he's the #1 contender for the title. Okay. On the surface, it seems senseless. Why would a fresh face take on the #1? He's a wife beater, child beater. He even hates dogs. What? Adding what? Adding insult to injury, the police, the champion, everyone is too scared to stop him. What? So will our challenger have what it takes to take down this tyrannical Goliath of a man in the ring, or will he fall like the rest? Find out by getting your copy. Okay, so you're describing the #1 contender, the villain essentially of the piece, I guess. He's the guy who's the wife beater, the child beater, and the dog hater. And everybody else is scared of him for some reason, including the police. That doesn't make any sense. Unless he's, is he also rich, maybe? I don't know. Or connected, in the mob or something, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I expected you to be describing the hero, and so you start off with he's a wife beater. It's like, wait a minute, what? Is that a typo? Is it supposed to be he wears a wife beater? I don't know. It's like, but no, it's apparently describing the villain. Anyway, the art, if story isn't much of your thing, story is everybody's thing. Whether they admit it or not. It really kind of is. Then this artwork is just for you. Okay. That is just a hint at the fine line work you're in store for. And the first page, no less. Okay. So, is that child or baby or whatever, is that the Goliath guy, the bad guy who looks like Lex Luthor? That him being dropped out of a window bouncing off of this guy's hat, knocking him out, but that he's fine, so he's giving the camera a thumbs up. Is that what I'm seeing here? What the okay, still not convinced. This is fine line work we got here. Okay. Two heavyweights built like marble statues. So find out why a baby is being dropped on a man's head. Yeah, that was apparently that's what that was. A baby being dropped on a man's head. By backing the first in the series of this young upstart boxer. Okay. An example of a commission. Captain America. Thor. Stretch goals. 5K. One card for each fighter displaying the tail of the tape. What? The tail of the tape? Is that a boxing term? 10K. Pages will be added showing artist sketches of the characters. 15K. A director's cut. Adding even more pages breaking down style, storytelling influences, and inspiration for what made the pages possible. Okay. Well, I don't think any of the stretch goals are going to be hit. At this rate, unfortunately, it does not look like you're going to get even the 1K goal. But anyway, let's look at, and there should be pictures on these people. Everybody should have pictures on their tiers. Just a reminder. All of the only ships to the U.S. Can't really blame people for only doing U.S. shipping. As expensive as shipping gets these days. Anyway, the Challenger, $20, one copy. Estimated shipping is February, so that's not too far out. It's a pretty decent turnaround. One claimed. Signed book for $5 more. One claimed. $50. One book with a sketch. Headshot. With a headshot inside. 0 claimed. And signed book plus commission. 9x12 commission of a single character of your choosing. $100. 0 of 10 claimed. Alright, let's look at the shipping. There's only one place it ships to, so $10. Broken picture, broken image. I don't know what happens there. It's like when it shows that, does that mean that there should have been one and the campaign setup or whatever asked them to put one in and they didn't, and so it just shows a broken image? Because I can't remember whether I've ever seen one that didn't have a broken image when there wasn't an image. Or does it mean that they uploaded a picture but there's something corrupt about it maybe, and therefore it's not displaying? I don't know. Anyway, so $20 for the tier and $10 shipping to the U.S., which, especially if you're just going to do domestic shipping, you should be able to figure out a way to make it less than $10. I mean, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously possible because other people do it. Like, that's the thing. I always kind of figure that, well, especially if you're selling, like, if you're Ethan or Shane or somebody and you're selling a whole bunch of copies, it's like you ought to be getting pretty decent bulk rate discounts on any of your supplies that you need for shipping and whatnot, and you ought to be able to offer people, at least domestically, probably $5 or $6 shipping, at least on a single book. More than that, maybe more in shipping, but just that, it's like, yeah, you ought to be able to do that. And they don't. They they do $10. But you get these little independent people, or they are all independent, but you get these little independent people who are part of CG, who are offering a lot of times the book for less than the big guys do, and shipping is either free or $5 or something. That's like, oh, that's very good. It's very good pricing. So why is it only the little campaigns that nobody takes any notice of where you seem to get good pricing on their fucking shipping? It's just, I don't know. Seems kind of odd. And again, it's like $5 is closer to being like the average standard that you're going to look to pay on non-CG indie comics. So, you know, again, I don't know. Uh, don't know. I'm not the one doing it, so I don't, And presumably this is the same. It is. So that's 35 out, 30 out the door, 35 out the door. Let's see if it shouldn't really, but yep, 10. Okay, so 60 out the door on that tier. And I don't know if I can offer free shipping on this one, $100, but nope, it's 110 out the door. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I offer. Yeah, while I was recuperating, I was listening to horror babble. uh, uh, I don't know what to say. It's like, I mean, I don't think. I mean, obviously, I meant to do the video sooner, but I don't think it would have. I don't know that I don't know that my video is going to get them any backers at all, and I certainly don't think that even if I'd done it a week sooner or something, that that it would have gotten any amount of traction to get this funded, because this is so. I mean, there's been no movement since I first looked at this and was like, okay, that in the distant future, that's one that I'm. I was like, there's all these others to do first, and then this one. I've had it open for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or however, probably right after it started, is when I saw it on CG Tracker and opened it and got ready to, and it's like, damn, 2 backers then, 2 backers now. Not looking good. Not looking good. Anyway, but the link is in the description if you, care to help them out. My suggestion for your next project, unless you've done it already, Bat Otter. That sounds like a fun story. The origin story of Bat Otter. Anyway, all right. Till the next one.